Is widely known as the highest mountain on Earth, standing at an extraordinary elevation of about 8,848 meters, 29,029 feet above the sea level. Towering above the surrounding landscape, this majestic peak rises from the vast mountain range of the Himalayas, one of the most dramatic and powerful geological formations on the planet. The mountain lies directly on the international border between Nepal and China, with its northern side located in the Tibetan region of China and its southern slope facing Nepal. Because of its immense height, extreme conditions, and breathtaking natural beauty, Mount Everest has long captured the imagination of explorers, scientists, and adventurers from around the world. The name Everest was given during the 19th century by British surveyor in honor of Sir George Everest, a former Surveyor General India. However, the mountain is known by several other traditional names in the regions surrounding it. In Nepal, it's called Sagarmatha, which can be translated as Goddess of the Sky, while in the Tibet it is known as Komalongma, meaning Goddess Mother of the World. This name reflects the deep cultural and spiritual significance the mountain holds for local communities who have lived in the shadow of the Himalayas for centuries. To many of these regions, the mountain is not just a natural landmark but also a sacred symbol connected to their history, tradition, and belief. The immense height of Mount Everest makes it one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Near the summit, the air contains only about one-third of the oxygen available at sea level, making it extremely difficult for the human body to function normally. Temperature at the top of the mountain can drop well below -40 degrees, and powerful winds often sweep across the peak of the exceeding 160 km per hour. This condition makes Everest not only the tallest mountain, but also one of the most dangerous places on the earth. Despite these challenges, the mountain continues to attract climbers who dream of standing at the highest point on Earth. Beyond its physical height, the mountain also represents a powerful symbol of human determination and exploration. For decades, adventurers have been drawn to Mount Everest in pursuit of one of the greatest achievements in mountaineering, reaching the summit of the world's tallest peak. The idea of climbing Everest has inspired generations of explorers who see the mountain as the ultimate test of courage, endurance, and perseverance. Reaching the summit requires not only exceptional physical strength, but also careful planning, teamwork, and the ability to survive in one of the hardest natural environments on Earth. In addition to its reputation among climbers, the mountain is also an important site for scientific research. Geologists, climate scientists, and environmental researchers study the Himalayas to better understand the movement of tectonic plates, the formation of mountains, and the long-term effect of climate change on glacier and high-altitude ecosystems. The glaciers surrounding Mount Everest provide valuable data about Earth's changing climate and the fragile balance of mountain environment. Today, Mount Everest stands not only as the highest point on Earth, but also as one of the most iconic natural landmarks in the world. Rising dramatically above the clouds, it represents both the incredible power of nature and the enduring spirit of human curiosity and exploration. For many people, Everest is far more than a mountain. It's a symbol of the limitless possibilities that arise when humans dare to explore the most remote and challenging place on our planet. Mount Everest is officially recognized as the highest mountain on Earth, reaching an extraordinary elevation of 8,848.86 meters, 29,031.7 feet above sea level. This record-breaking height was confirmed in 2020 through a historic joint measurement conducted by the government of Nepal and China. For many years, the exact height of the mountain had been the subject of scientific debate because different surveys produced slightly different results. Advances in satellite technology, GPS systems, and modern geological measurement finally allowed both countries to collaborate on a precious and widely accepted figure. The announcement of the update had marked an important milestone in geographic and scientific research, providing the most accurate measurement ever recorded for the world's tallest mountain. The immense height of Mount Everest places it far above all other peaks in the towering Himalayas mountain range. When the Himalayas contain many of the highest mountains on planet, including peaks that rise above 8,000 meters, Everest still stands as the undisputed highest point on Earth's surface above the sea level. Its summit rises dramatically above the surrounding peaks, creating a breathtaking silhouette that dominates the skyline of the Himalayan regions. Because of this remarkable elevation, Everest is often referred to as the proof of the world, symbolizing the absolute pinnacle of Earth's mountainous landscape. The height of the mountain is not simply a matter of geography, it also represents one of the most extreme environments known to humans. At nearly 9 kilometers above sea level, the summit of Mount Everest exists in a region known as the dead zone. In this area, the air pressure is so low that the amount of oxygen available for breathing is drastically reduced. Climbers who attempt to reach the summit must endure conditions where every step requires tremendous effort, and where prolonged air pressure can quickly become life-threatening. The extreme altitude makes Everest one of the most challenging mountains in the world to climb, even for experienced mountaineers. The confirmed height of 8,848.86 meters had also strengthened Everest's legendary status among climbers and explorers. For mountaineers across the globe, standing on the summit of Mount Everest represents the ultimate achievement in the sport of high-altitude climbing. The mountain has become a symbol of the greatest possible challenge, attracting adventurers who dream of reaching the highest point on our planet. Each year, climbers from dozens of countries travel to the Himalayan region with the hope of attempting the ascent. Although only a limited number succeed each season, the dream of conquering Everest continues to inspire people around the world. Another fascinating aspect of Everest's height is the mountain is still slowly rising. Scientists believe that the tectonic force responsible for forming the Himalayas millions of years ago continue to push the mountain upward today. The collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates caused the region to rise by several millimeters each year. This means that the Mount Everest is not only the highest mountain on Earth today, but it may also continue to grow taller in the future. Today, the official recognized height of 8,848.86 meters stands as a remarkable scientific achievement and a powerful reminder of the immense force that shapes our planet. The towering summit of Mount Everest continues to dominate the sky of the Himalayas, inspiring awe in everyone who sees it. As the highest point on Earth, the mountain remains one of the greatest natural landmarks in the world and a symbol of humanity's enduring desire to explore and conquer the most extreme environment on our planet. The formation of Mount Everest is the result of one of the most powerful geological processes in Earth's history. Scientists believe that this towering mountain began forming tens of millions of years ago, when the tectonic plates carrying the Indian subcontinent slowly drifted northward and eventually collided with the massive erosion potential plate. This monumental collision between two enormous sections of the Earth's crust created intense pressure that forced layers to rock upward. Over time, this process gradually lifted the land and gave birth to the vast and dramatic mountain system known today as the Himalayas. Among all the peaks that rose from this powerful geological event, Mount Everest eventually became the tallest and most iconic. Before this collision occurred, the region where Everest now stands was once covered by an ancient ocean called the Tethys Sea. Over millions of years, sediments from marine organisms, shells, and underwater deposits accumulated on the ocean floor. When the tectonic plates collided, this layer of seabed sediments were pushed upward along with massive sections of Earth's crust. This is why scientists have discovered marine fossil and limestone formation high on the slope of Mount Everest. This surprising discovery provides clear evidence that part of the world's tallest mountains were once located beneath the ocean, thousands of meters below the sea level. The enormous pressure generated by the collision of the Indian subcontinent with the Eurasian plate did not happen suddenly, but instead occurred slowly over millions of years. As the Indian plate continued to push northward, the crust of the earth began to crumble and fall like layers of paper being compressed together. This folding and uplift gradually formed the massive peak and deep valley that characterize the Himalayas today. The region became one of the most dramatic mountain landscapes on Earth, filled with towering summits, glaciers, and steep rocky ridges. Among these peaks, Mount Everest rose higher than any other mountain on the planet. What makes the story of Everest even more fascinating is that the mountain is still growing today. The tectonic plates that created the Himalayas have not stopped moving. The Indian subcontinent continues to press slowly into the Eurasian plate at a rate of several centimeters each year. This constant movement produces ongoing geological pressure that gradually pushes the mountain upward. As a result, scientists estimate that Mount Everest increases in height by a few millimeters every year. Although this growth is extremely slow, it demonstrates that the geological forces shaping our planet are still active. At the same time, natural processes such as erosion, earthquake, and glacial movement continuously reshape the mountain. Strong wind, freezing temperature, and massive glaciers slowly wear away at the rock surface of the Himalayas. In some cases, earthquakes caused by tectonic activity can also change the structure of the mountain. These competing forces, uplift from tectonic pressure and erosion from natural elements, create a delicate balance that determines the ultimate shape and height of the mountain range. Today, Mount Everest stands not only as the tallest mountain on Earth, but also as a remarkable geological movement that tells the story of our planet's dynamic history. The mountain's existence is the result of millions of years of tectonic movement, ocean sediments, and powerful natural forces working together to create one of the most spectacular landscapes on Earth. Every layer of rock within Everest holds clues about ancient ocean, shifting continents, and the immense geological process that continue to shape the world we live in today. The weather conditions on Mount Everest are considered among the most extreme and unforgiving environments on Earth. Located high in the towering Himalayas, the mountain is exposed to powerful natural forces that create a climate far harsher than what most people experience anywhere else on the planet. At such incredible altitude, the atmosphere becomes thin, temperature drops dramatically, and violent winds sweep across the exposed ridges and icy slopes. These factors combine to make Everest one of the most challenging places for humans to survive, let alone attempt to climb. One of the most difficult aspects of the mountain environment is the extremely low temperature. Near the summit of Mount Everest, temperature can fall below -60 Celsius degree, -76 Celsius Fahrenheit degree. During the coldest period of the years, even during the climbing seasons, which typically occur in late spring, temperature remains dangerously low and can easily drop below -30 Celsius degree. In such freezing conditions, exposed skin can develop frostbite within minutes. Climbers must wear specialized high-altitude clothing designed to retain body heat and protect them from the surf cold. Without proper protection, the freezing temperature alone could make survival nearly impossible. Another major challenge is the powerful wind that constantly batters the mountain. At the summit of Mount Everest, wind speed frequently exceeds 160 km per hour, 100 miles per hour. This fierce wind can create sudden storms that reduce visibility and make it extremely dangerous to continue climbing. Strong gusts cannot clamber off balance, especially when they are traversing narrow ridges or steep ice walls. The winds also intensify the cold through a phenomenon known as wind chill, making the already frigid temperature feel even colder and increasing the risk of hypothermia and frostbite. Perhaps the most dangerous environmental factor on Everest is the thin air and low oxygen level at extreme altitude. As climbers ascend the mountain, the air pressure drops dramatically, meaning there is far less oxygen available for the body human. Near the summit of Mount Everest, the amount of oxygen in the air is only about one-third of what exists at sea level. This lack of oxygen makes breathing extremely difficult and forces the body to work much harder to perform even simple movements. Many climbers must rely on a supplemental oxygen tank to help them survive in this high-altitude environment. The region above approximately 8,000 meters on Everest is often referred to by climbers as the dead zone. In this area, the human body cannot properly acclimatize to the lack of oxygen, and prolonged exposure can lead to serious medical conditions such as altitude sickness, high-altitude pulmonary edema, and high-altitude cerebral edema. This condition can cause confusion, extreme fatigue, fluid buildup in the lungs, and even loss of consciousness. Because of these dangers, climbers must move carefully and limit the amount of time they spend at such extreme elevation. Sudden weather changes also make climbing Mount Everest especially dangerous. Clear sky can quickly transform into violent snowstorms with heavy snowfall and biting winds. Avalanches and falling ice are constantly risked in certain sections of the mountain, particularly in areas with steep glaciers and unstable snowpack. Climbers must carefully monitor weather forecasts and often wait till a short period of stable weather known as summit window before attempting to reach the top. These extreme weather conditions are the reason why Mount Everest is considered one of the most difficult and dangerous mountains in the world to climb. The combination of freezing temperature, powerful winds, thin air, and unpredictable storms creates an environment that constantly tests the limit of human endurance. Despite the challenges, the mountain continues to attract climbers from around the world who are willing to face these harsh conditions to pursue the standing at the highest point of Earth. The first successful ascent of Mount Everest stands as one of the most remarkable achievements in the history of mountaineering. For many decades, explorers and climbers from around the world dream of reaching the summit of the highest mountain of Earth. However, the extreme altitude, unpredictable weather, and dangerous terrain made Everest an incredibly difficult challenge. Numerous expeditions attempted to reach the top during the early 20th century, but all of them ultimately failed. It was not until May 29, 1953, that two climbers finally achieved what many had thought impossible, standing on the summit of the world's tallest peak. The historic expedition was part of a British elite team organized to explore and climb Mount Everest from the southern route through Nepal. Among the members of this expedition was two extraordinary climbers, Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norway, a highly skilled Sherpa mountaineer who had extensive experience climbing in the Himalayas. Both men played a crucial role in the success of the expedition. Hillary was known for his determination and physical endurance, while Norway possessed deep knowledge of the mountain environment and exceptional climbing ability developed through years and guiding expeditions in the Himalayan regions. The journey to the summit was extremely demanding. The climber had to travel through dangerous glaciers, cross deep crevasse, and ascend steep ice-covered slopes. One of the most challenging sections of the road was a near-vertical rock step that's just below the summit, later known as the Hillary Step. This obstacle required careful climbing techniques and great courage, as a single mistake could have been fatal. After overcoming this difficult section, the two climbers continued their final ascent toward the summit of Mount Everest. On the morning of May 29, 1953, after hours of exhausting effort at extreme altitude, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norway finally reached the summit of Mount Everest. Standing nearly 8,848 meters above the sea level, they became the first people in recorded history to reach the highest point on Earth. The two climbers spent about 15 minutes on the summit, taking photographs and leaving small items as symbol of their achievement. Tenzing Norgay also performed a traditional offering to the mountain as a sign of respect according to local Himalayan custom. The successful Ascent quickly became international news and was celebrated around the world as a historic moment of human achievement. The accomplishment of Hillary and Norgay proved that, despite the extreme challenges and dangers, the summit of Mount Everest was indeed reachable. Their victory inspired generations of climbers and explorers who dreamed of following their footsteps. In recognition of his achievement, Edmund Hillary was later knighted by the British monarchy, while Tenzing Norgay became a national hero and a legendary figure in the world of mountaineering. Today, the first successful climb of Mount Everest remains one of the greatest milestones in exploration history. The courage, teamwork, and determination demonstrated by Hillary and Norgay continue to inspire adventure across the globe. Their achievement not only opened the door for future expeditions but also cemented Everest's reputation as the ultimate challenge for climbers seeking to conquer the highest point on our planet. Today, Mount Everest has become the ultimate destination for mountaineers and adventure seekers from around the world. As the highest peak on Earth, the mountain represents the greatest challenge in the sport of high-altitude climbing. For many professional climbers, reaching the summit of Everest is considered the pinnacle of their careers and the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. Every year, hundreds of climbers travel to the Himalayan region with the hope of attempting the Ascent. These climbers come from many different countries and backgrounds, united by a shared ambition to stand on the highest point of the planet. Most expeditions to Mount Everest begin in Nepal, where the southern road to the summit is considered the most commonly used path for climbers. The journey usually starts with a trek to the famous Everest Base Camp, located high in the Himalayas. This base camp serves as the central hub for climbing expeditions and is where climbers spend time preparing for the difficult journey ahead. From this point, mountaineers must gradually move up the mountain through a series of camps, each located at higher elevation, in order to properly acclimate to the thin air. Climbing Mount Everest is far more complex than simply hiking up a mountain. The expedition requires months of careful planning, intensive training, and physical preparation. Climbers must develop exceptional endurance, strength, and technical climbing skill before attempting such a dangerous ascent. Many mountaineers spend years gaining experience on other high mountains around the world before they consider attempting Everest. Proper acclimatization to high altitude is also essential, as the lack of oxygen near the summit can cause serious health problems if their body is not prepared. Another important aspect of the Everest expedition is the support team can help make the climb possible. Experienced guides and members of the local Sherpa community often play a crucial role in assisting climbers. Sherpas have carried equipment, established climbing routes, fixed ropes along dangerous sections of the mountains, and guide climbers safely through hazardous areas. Their knowledge of the mountain and their ability to function at high altitude makes them indispensable members of many climbing expeditions. In addition to physical challenges, climbing Mount Everest also requires a significant financial investment. The cost of an expedition can be extremely high, often reaching tens of thousands of dollars. Expenses include climbing permits issued by the government of Nepal, specialized climbing equipment, oxygen supply, guides, transportation, and logistical support for the expedition team. Because of these costs, many climbers spend years saving money or seeking sponsorship before they can attempt the journey. Despite the difficulties, the dream of climbing Everest continues to attract adventure from all over the world. The opportunity to stand on the summit of Mount Everest, nearly 9 kilometers above the sea level, represents an extraordinary personal achievement. For climbers, the journey is not only about reaching the top but also about testing the limit of human endurance and experiencing one of the most extreme environments on Earth. As a result, Mount Everest remains one of the most famous and sought-after climbing destinations on the planet. Its towering height, legendary reputation, and immense challenge continue to inspire generations of mountaineers who dream of conquering the highest mountain in the world. The success of many expeditions to Mount Everest would not be possible without the extraordinary support of the Sherpa people. The Sherpa are an ethnic group who have lived for generations in the high mountain region of the Himalayas, particularly in areas of Nepal near Everest. Over time, they have become world-renowned for their incredible strength, endurance, and ability to survive in the harsh conditions of high-altitude environment. Because of their deep knowledge of the mountain and their remarkable physical adaptation to extreme altitude, Sherpas play a vital role in helping climbers safely navigate the dangerous slope of the world's highest peak. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Sherpa people is their natural ability to adapt and fly at high elevation. Scientists have discovered that Sherpas possess unique genetic and physiological traits that allow them to function more efficiently in thin air where oxygen levels are extremely low. These adaptations help the body deliver oxygen to muscles more effectively, enabling them to perform physically demanding tasks at altitude where many others struggle to breathe. This natural advantage makes Sherpas exceptionally well suited for working in the challenging environment surrounding Mount Everest. In modern Everest expeditions, Sherpas often serve as guides, climbers, and logistical experts who support teams from around the world. Their responsibilities are numerous and incredibly demanding. They have transport heavy equipment such as tents, ropes, food supplies, and oxygen tanks from lower camps up to higher elevation. In many cases, Sherpas make multiple trips up and down the mountain carrying loads that can weigh dozens of kilograms. They also assist in establishing climbing routes by fixing ropes along steep ice walls and setting up ladders across dangerous crevasses in glacier areas. This time requires not only physical strength but also immense courage and experience. Perhaps most importantly, Sherpas provide guidance and safety for climbers attempting to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Their knowledge of the mountain's terrain, weather patterns, and potential danger allows them to help climbers navigate through some of the most hazardous sections of the road. Areas such as the Khumbu Icefall, steep ridge, and icy slope can be extremely dangerous, even for experienced mountaineers. Sherpas often lead the way through this section, ensuring that climbers follow the safest possible path. Beyond their technical role in expedition, the Sherpa people are also known for their strong cultural tradition and deep respect for the mountain. Many Sherpas believe that the peaks of the Himalayas are sacred, and should be approached with humility and respect. Before major climbing expedition begins, it is common for Sherpa communities to perform traditional Buddhist ceremonies asking for protection and good fortune on the mountain. These rituals reflect the spiritual connection that Sherpas feel toward the environment in which they live and work. Throughout the history of Everest exploration, many Sherpas have achieved legendary status for their remarkable climbing abilities. Their contributions have helped thousands of climbers reach the summit of Mount Everest, making them essential partners in the world of high-altitude mountaineering. Without the dedication, skill, and bravery of the Sherpa people, climbing Everest would be far more difficult and dangerous. Today, the Sherpa community continues to play an indispensable role in Himalayan expedition. Their knowledge, resilience, and deep connection to the mountain makes them not only guides but also guardians of one of the most extraordinary landscapes on Earth. For climbers attempting to reach the summit of Mount Everest, Sherpas remain trusted companions who have turned an ambitious dream into a possible reality. Climbing Mount Everest is widely considered one of the most dangerous challenges in the world of extreme sports. While the dream of reaching the summit of the highest mountain on Earth attracts adventure from across the globe, the journey is filled with serious risks that can test both physical strength and mental endurance. The extreme environment of the Himalayas presents numerous hazards that can threaten the safety and survival of climbers at any moment. From the thin air at high altitude to unpredictable storms and treacherous terrain, every step toward the summit requires carefully planning and constant awareness of the danger involved. One of the greatest threats faced by climbers on Mount Everest is lack of oxygen at extreme altitude. As climbers ascend higher up the mountain, the air becomes thinner and the amount of oxygen available for breathing decreases dramatically. Near the summit, oxygen levels are only about one-third of what they are at sea level. This can lead to severe altitude sickness, a condition that causes headache, disease, nausea, and extreme fatigue. In more serious cases, climbers may suffer from life-threatening conditions such as high-altitude pulmonary edema, where fluid builds up the lungs, or high-altitude cellular edema, where swelling occurs in the brain. Without proper acclimatization or supplemental oxygen, this condition can quickly become fatal. Another major danger is the extreme weather conditions that constantly affect the mountain. Powerful snowstorms can develop suddenly on the slope of Mount Everest, bring heavy snowfall, strong winds, and dangerously low temperature. This storm can reduce visibility to almost zero and make it nearly impossible to climb to navigate safely. Even experienced mountaineers can become disoriented in such conditions, increasing the risk of accident or becoming stranded on the mountain. Freezing temperature, often dropping below -40°C, can also lead to frostbite or hypothermia if climbers are not properly protected. Avalanches represent another serious threat on Everest. Large masses of snow and ice can suddenly break loose from the steep slopes of the Himalayas, racing down the mountain with tremendous speed and force. These avalanches can destroy climbing routes, bury camps, and put the life of climbers at immediate risk. Certain sections of the mountains, such as glacier-filled and steep ice slopes, are particularly vulnerable to these dangerous events. Climbers must carefully monitor the condition and rely on experienced guides to help them avoid areas where avalanches are more likely to occur. The physical demand of climbing Mount Everest also creates significant dangers. The journey to summit requires weeks of climbing through harsh terrains, often while carrying heavy equipment and enduring constant fatigue. As climbers move higher into what is known as dead zone, above about 8,000 meters, the body begins to weaken rapidly due to the lack of oxygen. Simple tasks such as walking, breathing, or adjusting equipment become extremely exhausting. Many climbers struggle with dehydration, muscle weakness, and mental exhaustion, which can increase the risk of mistakes or accidents. Despite these numerous dangers, the dream of conquering Mount Everest continues to inspire adventure around the world. Over the years, thousands of climbers have successfully reached the summit, demonstrating remarkable courage and determination. However, the mountain's history also includes many tragic accidents that serve as a reminder of its immense power and unpredictability. For this reason, Everest is still considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth, where nature constantly challenges those who attempt to reach the highest point of the planet. In recent years, Mount Everest has not only been known as the highest mountain on Earth, but also a place facing growing environmental challenges. As the number of climbers and expeditions has increased dramatically over the past few decades, concern about pollution and environmental damage have become more serious. What was once a remote and untouchable region of the Himalayas is now experiencing the effect of human activity and global environmental change. These issues have drawn the attention of scientists, environmental organizations, and governments who are working to protect the fragile ecosystem surrounding the mountain. One of the most visible environmental problems in Mount Everest is the accumulation of waste left behind the climbing expedition. Each year, hundreds of climbers travel to the mountain, bringing large amounts of equipment, food supply, oxygen tanks, and other materials necessary for survival at high altitude. Unfortunately, not all of this equipment are carried back down after expeditions are completed. Over time, discarded items such as empty oxygen cylinder, broken tanks, and food packaging and climb gear had accumulated along the roads leading to the summit. Because the extreme cold and lack of microorganisms slow down natural decomposition, this waste can remain on the mountain for many years. At high altitude, it is extremely difficult to manage sanitation, and for many years climbers simply left waste behind on the mountains. As the number of visitors increased, This problem became more noticeable and raised concern about contamination of snow and nearby water sources. The once pristine slopes of Mount Everest began to show signs of pollution, leading some people refer to the mountain as the world's highest garbage dump. Although this description may exaggerate it, it highlights the seriousness of the environmental challenges facing the area. Another major environmental issue affecting Mount Everest is climate change. Rising global temperatures are causing glaciers throughout the Himalayas to melt at an accelerated rate. These glaciers play a vital role in the mountain ecosystem and also provide fresh water for millions of people living in the region downstream. As temperatures increase, the ice and snow covering areas are gradually shrinking, which can lead to unstoppable slopes, increased risk of avalanches, and changes in mountains' natural landscape. Scientists studying the region have reported that some glaciers near Everest have significantly retreated over the past several decades. Recognizing this growing problem, the government of Nepal has introduced a number of policies aimed at protecting the mountain environment. Climbers are now required to follow stricter regulations regarding waste management during expeditions. For example, many climbing teams must bring back a certain amount of trash from the mountain in order to receive a refund of their climbing deposit. Special cleanup campaigns have also been organized to remove waste that has accumulated on the slope of Everest over many years. This effort involved teams of climbers and members of the Sherpa community who work together to collect and transport waste down from the high camps. International organizations and environmental groups have also joined these conservation efforts. Educational campaigns encourage climbers to adopt more sustainable practices and respect the fragile environment of the Himalayas. Many expedition companies now emphasize responsible tourism and environmental stewardship as part of their operation. While these measures cannot completely eliminate the impact of human activity, they represent important steps towards preserving the natural beauty of the region. Today, protecting Mount Everest has become an important global concern. As one of the most iconic natural landmarks on Earth, the mountain symbolize both the wonder of nature and the responsibility humans have to protect it. By continuing to address issues such as pollution and climate change, governments, scientists, and climbers hope to ensure that Everest remains a magnificent and inspiring place for generations to come. Today, Mount Everest is widely recognized as a powerful symbol of courage, determination, and human desire to overcome extraordinary challenges. Rising high above the clouds in the majestic Himalayas, this towering peak represents far more than just a highest point on Earth. For many people, Everest embodies the spirit of exploration for the relentless pursuit of goals that once seemed impossible. Its summit, standing at astonishing 8,848.86 meters above sea level, has become a legendary destination that inspires adventurers, climbers, and dreamers from every corner of the world. Reaching the summit of Mount Everest is not merely a physical achievement. It is also a profound test of mental strength and perseverance. The journey to the top requires months or even years of preparation, intense physical training, and careful planning. Climbers must endure extreme cold, thin air, powerful winds, and dangerous terrain while pushing their bodies to the limit of human endurance. Each step toward the summit represents determination, resilience, and the courage to continue even in the face of exhaustion and fear. For many climbers, the moment they finally stand on the summit is not just a victory over the mountain, but also a triumph over their own doubts and limitations. Because of these extraordinary challenges, the mountain has become a universal symbol of human ambition and achievement. Thousands of climbers travel to the Everest region every year, hoping to experience the adventure and attempting to reach the highest point on the planet. Although only a portion of these climbers ultimately succeed, the dream of standing on the summit of Mount Everest continues to motivate people from different cultures, professions, and backgrounds. For some, climbing Everest is the ultimate adventure. For others, it represents a deeply personal journey of self-discovery and perseverance. Beyond its significance to mountaineers, Everest also holds great cultural and national importance. The mountain lies along the border between Nepal and China, and both countries consider it one of their most treasured natural landmarks. In Nepal, Everest, known locally as Sagarmatha, is regarded as the source of national pride and an essential part of country's natural heritage. For many communities living in the Himalayan regions, the mountain also carries deep spiritual meaning and is depicted as a sacred place within the natural world. The global reputation of Mount Everest has grown far beyond the word mountaineering. The mountain frequently appears in the book, documentaries, film, and educational programs, where it is often portrayed as the ultimate symbol of exploration and human determination. Its image has come to represent the idea that with enough courage, perseverance, and preparation, people can push beyond their perceived limits and achieve extraordinary accomplishments. Today, Mount Everest continues to stand as one of the most iconic natural wonders on Earth, towering above rough peaks of the Himalayas. It reminds humanity of both immense power of nature and the remarkable resilience of the human spirit. Although climbing Everest remains extremely difficult and dangerous, the dream of reaching its summit continues to inspire countless individuals who seek adventure, challenge, and the opportunity to stand on what is often called root of the world,